Years ago, my son was murdered, and it was a very devastating part in my life. It was so traumatic. And then a couple of years later, my mom died in February too, and my grandmother had already passed away in February. And so my oldest daughter, she was born in March, and she died in August. So it's like it's a stretch of spots there that I began to feel real bad. And I have learned how to deal with those emotions in a more positive way. And I remember when I first started counseling, those hard feelings started erupting all at once. And because most of the time, people who I had spoken with, they didn't want to talk about him. People would always say things that made me feel better, like he's in a better place. Fuck that. The grave is not a better place for an 11-year-old. No, 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 no. His life had just begun, only to have someone cut it short. It affected my life, and not knowing who would do such a horrible thing. His sister died when he was 4 months old. He was 4 months old when his sister passed away. Chastity had been sick. She was born with muscular dystrophy. And then she passed away. And then he was murdered at the age of 11. And I had a lot of trauma. I can't explain it. But I just, when I started going to counseling, it's like the pain. Knowing that he's really gone and that he is not coming back. Not just gone away. Gone but not coming back. There's no reason for me to even believe that I'm going to ever see him again. I don't even feel that is possible because I lost all hope of heaven too. And I just fell back in my bed. I just felt so helpless that day. And yet, here I still stand here today. And I stand to say, I wish to encourage someone today to press your way on. You know what? You're going to learn. You're going to adapt to it. It might be hard, but you're going to. Because you now are a pillar for someone else. You have to go on to show people that it's possible. Even at my weakest moments, I'm still trying very hard to go on. And it's one blow. It seemed like it began to come one blow after another of things that seemed like it was trying to take my life away from me. And then suddenly I felt so weak and the pain was so immense. I just wanted to die. Mentally, I was drowning. I was draining and I just wanted to die. I just wanted to die and I just wanted to go away. I was put in the mental institution for a little while, and the day that I was released, they don't release me. They did not release me. I'm not for sure what it's like now. That's been a while back. They didn't release me from the mental hospital. No one could come there to pick me up. They had to go to the doctor's office to be there to pick me up. And when I got there, the man who called himself my husband was not there. And he was part of my problems too. And I was on my way out of a marriage with him because I began to see him for the clown that he really was. And he was like a major part of the problems that I was having in my life. And then he wasn't even there. He wasn't even there to pick me up. And I sat and I waited and finally I'm embarrassed because these people are in here and they know that my husband is supposed to be the one that's supposed to come pick me up. But yet my husband is nowhere to be found and it's gotten late. It's 6 and I call him on the phone. Well, I'm at work. I said, but you knew I was getting off. Well, I'm at work then. I can't come. Nothing else. So I hang up the phone and I call my mom. And my mom said she was going to try to get someone to come. And my auntie, even though she could not see good and it was dark at night, she drove. She came and picked me up. Bless you, Aunt Sister. I love you. I love you for coming to get me. And I felt so stranded. I felt so stranded. How many people don't have someone to come pick them up. Or they step out on faith, believing that someone got their back. But my own husband, until death do us part. That's some bullshit. He left me stranded. I knew he was not the man for me. If you'll leave me stranded that far away from home, you are not the person for me. Because I'd have had to leave work. I have to go. I'm sorry, I have to go. I have to go pick someone up. They are stranded. The doors of this office is about to close. It was 9 o'clock, almost 10 o'clock that night before I got home. And when I got home, he drove in the yard with the children. They jumped out the car and ran in the house just screaming. One of my sons ran up to me and just screamed in my ear and just stood there and looked at me. I just looked at him. He said, ah! I said, why you do that? His daddy told him to do that. His daddy told him to be very loud and rude in the house. Very loud. The people at the said she needs some quietness. And see, I'm like, I am calling Attorney Kelly ASAP. And that's exactly what I did. I called the attorney and I said, please, I need a divorce. And it was $500. I paid the money along until that $500 was paid off. And I got my divorce. I didn't get my name back. See, I didn't know I had to ask for my name to be changed back. So I still carry that name. And that's not me. And I said if I ever enter into a marriage or contract with someone else again, then that'll be the perfect moment for me to get my real name back. My name, that's my given, that's my name. I ain't nobody's property but Alma and Charlie's. That's the name that's on my birth certificate right there. But now I don't have any owners because they both gone on. And both of my grandparents gone on. So I don't have any more owners over me. I'm free. Well, so I'd say the government claimed me more than my family did. They got more say-so up in my life than the ones that gave birth to me did. That's another thing that's traumatizing. The things that they do and get away with. But listen, anyway, what I want to say is be encouraged in your heart and in your spirit that you can go on. You can pull through it. We're going to pull through these trying times right now. And we're going to come out on the other end of this thing. And we're going to look back at it and we're going to seal it off. We're going to seal off those ways of life. And we're going to say that's the past. That's the past. We're not going to talk about no more. We're not going to talk about the Jasons of the past anymore. And we're not going to glorify the Jasons of the day anymore. We going to live in a world where they not going to be mentioned and glorified and put on pedestals and put on books and wrote about and written about. And we keep on having these bad people just throw it in our face. And then our children want to mimic them. And our children want to be put on a pedestal and want to think that all bad people are good. Have a great Sunday. Blessings. Peace in the valley. It coming. And it ain't going to take war to get it here. We're going to learn how to love. We're going to do that thing.